Firstly, congratulations on the launch of your third book. Having had the pleasure of reading this book prior to today's event, I just have to say it's a fantastic piece of work you have produced. When I started reading this book, just from the preface of this book, I knew that was going to be a great read, and I would recommend anybody here or anybody who's going to read any of your work to pick this book up, because in my opinion it's your best work yet. No worries. So, as we all know from today's event, sentiments revolves around human behaviour, our relationships with one another, and how we would benefit on working on these relations. Do you think you would have been able to read this book if you didn't feel emotions strongly?
No, I think emotions are a vital part of me, who I am. And I think it's a vital part of everybody, whoever is sitting here. The only difference is that some people like to express and some don't. Some are shy, some are open book. So that is the only difference which has given me the opportunity that I didn't mind expressing myself and just put my experiences on the paper.
And could you just explain the process of writing this book? And does sentiment stand on its own, or do you believe you've built a body of work?
I think the process of any book, on my third book, nobody can write a book on their own. There is, I would say, so many people from my initial thought of thinking about sentiments to now having the book in my hand. There are so many people part of my project, and I want to thank each and everyone who has supported my cause, who has helped me, even from typing to printing to publishing, at every stage, I want to thank each and every person. I can't say everybody's name now, but from the bottom of my heart, I am ever so grateful to all those people. And the second part, what you said is, sentiment is on its own. All my 3 books are completely different to each other, completely different topics, so there is no link between any book.
And as you mentioned in the past, your motivation for writing after you have gone, and my letters to you, was perhaps help the reader understand that in your deepest pain you can find your biggest strength, which was a message that resonated with me. What do you say your motivation was for writing this book, and what do you hope this book will achieve?
I think for this was inner peace, the contentment in our heart, and what's happening in the current society, what people go through, the pains, and then they don't know how to channelize it. And that was the main reason that if you are happy inside, if your heart is happy, the whole world seems beautiful to you. If you are sad inside, no matter what you've got, you are not happy. I've met people, so many people with massive houses, with bank balance, expensive cars, but they are not happy. So for me, that's not happiness. For me, happiness was where there is sukoon in your heart, there is contentment in your heart, and that was the reason I wrote Sentiments.
And what does the word sentiments mean to you, and why was that chosen as your book's title?
Right. I have written all 3 my books in my first language, which is Urdu. And I'm a qualified interpreter, translator, and I think whoever is sitting here who are interpreters and translators, I know few are, translation can never ever give the same meaning. So what Ahsaas said to me, even sentiment hasn't said that to me. But that was the nearest beautiful translated word for Ahsaas. So I would say Ahsaas, if I have to choose one for the English book, I would still keep Ahsaas, because Ahsaas is a word which can gather so many emotions together in just one word. And I don't think sentiments can do the justice to that. I just chose Ahsaas for that very particular personal reason.
And Urfana, you mentioned in the past that all proceeds from your events and book sales are to be used as Sadqa Jariyah. Could you just explain further, and also is there any particular causes you support?
Right, so when Adam passed away, I didn't know the meaning, or I would say, I heard that, but I didn't have the understanding of Sadqa Jariyah. And what I'm doing today is definitely the credit goes to his death, because I got into this whole understanding of Sadqa Jariya. So when I started writing, when I did my first book, I had this intention that I want to, first of all, I want to help people by my words. If I can go give hope to one person, and honestly, when I get the feedback, even one person who has lost their child, I'm talking about the first book, and the feedback when it comes to me, and the positive feedback, when they can get some hope from my first book, I feel like my whole price has been paid for my books. Just one person, if I can help. So in my head, it was through my message, through my books, and of course, if the money comes, whatever, if I'm selling the books, the money will go to different charitable causes. It's a very small charity. It's not even I don't even call a charity. It's not even a charity, because it's all to do with my book sale. I've never done fundraising, and I don't believe in that, because for me, it's the book sale. And from the book sale, whatever I can, there is no particular, I would say, for example, now Adam's supporting Cancer Research UK, and then Cancer Research Imran Khan in Pakistan. And then all the year through, I will pick up few charities, few people, small charities, because I don't have any regular income. On top of that, my main donation is my books. I donate my books to different projects, to different events. They raise the money, they sell the books, they use it. It's nothing to do with me. So my whole purpose is, and I will happily donate, most of my copies go as complimentary copies to those families who I don't even know. People will ask me, can you send this book to so-and-so? I'll just post the book, and I know somebody has lost somebody there. And if they can read my After You Were Gone or Tere Jaane Ke Baad, and they can benefit, that's my business with Allah. So my business is very different to normal charities.
Thank you. And in the introduction of your book, you expressed your books have given you and taken you on a journey of new paths and experiences. What experience did your new book give you, because it was so different from the other two?
Again, it's about sentiments and what's happening in the society. I think for me, it's a major cause, because through the relationship breakdowns, I would say to all the parents who are sitting here, I know we have problems with our children. I'm on the children's side. Whoever the children are sitting here, they'll think, oh, auntie is good. She's talking about us. She's supporting us. But that's the truth, because children are growing up in this society, which is a norm for them. It's not for you. You haven't seen this society, and you don't know what's going on outside. I would say to all the parents, please educate yourself. Please, please educate yourself and see what's going on in your children's life. You have to give them time. You have to see what problems they are facing, and they need a friend there, because they won't come to you. If they are having problems outside and you don't understand, as soon as they start and then you will say something which they don't want to hear, they will not come to you. And you are losing your children, you are losing your relationships. And I think for me, it was a massive cause that, okay, husband and wife relationship, siblings, neighborhood, everything, but children are our future. We are losing our children, and horrendous stories I go through due to my work as well, that I go to these people's houses. When I see these things, I feel like, no, I need to do something. So that was one of my motivation behind Sentiments again.
And then you write, sometimes we change our residents, relatives and friends in search of peace, but we do not find it because we do not change our attitudes. People react to tough situations in different ways. Weak people take revenge, strong people forgive, and wise people just ignore. How would you advise any of us in this room to get to that stage, and what actions could we take?
Difficult question. I would say it's all about mindset. We're not ready to change our mindset. People want to keep the 10 years old mindset, 20 years old. Even you must have met people who have got still the 50 years old mindset when they were in Pakistan, when they came from Pakistan. They haven't changed that. Change is very difficult, very difficult. It's a common, I would say, problem for anybody at any age. Nobody is happy with the change. Even if you have to change your seat where you were sitting 10 minutes ago, you will find a bit uncomfortable. Oh, I need to go to that table. I was happy here. That's a common behavior. So I would say change yourself in thinking from negative to positive. It's all here. It's all here. So I would say the main point I would say is change, about thinking about your behavior, your activities, your routines, if you are doing the same thing and you want a different result, it's not possible. What we do is we do the same thing, same behavior, everything similar, and then we want a wonderful, beautiful result. Same relationships, same mistakes, same behavior. Nothing will change because you haven't changed your practice. So we need to change your mindset.
And in the chapter Loneliness, you speak about the feeling of loneliness being so intense and state that there are many circumstances in life which appear to be difficult and trying times, but manage to give a positive colour to our attitudes. How would you describe your trying times brought colour to your attitude, and what actions did you take, apart from writing?
Loneliness for me, I think it was, I felt lonely when I came to this country. I was very young when I left my parents, and that's a very natural feeling. A lot of us who have came as spouses from Pakistan, they all know that feeling. And that loneliness can stay for many years, but it's a very different type of loneliness because you are happy in your family, but you just miss the family you have left. That's a very different type of loneliness. But the loneliness which I got through when I lost Adam, that was a very different type of loneliness. I was quite surprised that I was lonely among 200-300 people. I'm sitting among 300 people and I'm thinking, in my heart, I'm lonely. I felt that loneliness. But for me, loneliness was one of the most productive, most positive experience because, one, I get to know my God. I met Allah Ta'ala in that lonely time because I was very busy before. And I needed that lonely time so I could sit down and think, who is my creator and where is my Adam gone? So that lonely time was one of the best experience of my life. It was very positive. And the other thing you asked, apart from writing, which I mentioned in my talk, is about what I have got, what's left with me. Out of 4 children, Allah Ta'ala has taken, my Adam has returned, I've got 3 more children. So I think that was the point where I started to do a mind list, what have I got? And I would say to all of you, you're all sitting here, you can all see, you can all hear, you can all walk, you might have driven here. So many blessings you have. So I think my lonely time was a reflective time for me, and it was very powerful, very positive experience of my life. So lonely time, if you are lonely, don't take a negative. People think, I'm lonely and that's a negative thing. No, it's not a negative thing. You can make that lonely time a beautiful experience of your life.
And finally, and I think this is a question on everybody's lips, what stands next for Urfana Ayub?
I really don't know. Because I didn't know I will write Tere Jaane Ke Baad. I didn't know it will come out as after you were gone. I had no clue after 5 years I will write Mere Khat Tere Naam. I didn't know it will come as my letters to you. And honestly, believe me, I had no clue that I'll be writing Ahsaas and sentiments. So I'm the type of person who can't sit. I have to do something. And not one thing, I have to do 10 things at the same time and balance. And I'm like a juggler who just like to juggle the ball. And I'm very careful that my ball needs to be in my hand. So I'm that type of person, that type of personality I have got. So I know if something will come after a few years. I don't know what will come. So no plans at the moment. But thank you very much.
Thank you
Are
for
there any more questions?
No more questions.
Thank you very much.